Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. I'm in the camper van. Last few videos I've made have been about cycling, and if you're wondering why my nose is looking a little bit flaky, it's because I came back from Ireland, and although the weather was not very good, there was obviously a certain amount of sunshine, and so I got a bit burnt on my nose, and that's why it's flaking. But this is not about cycling. It's not about Ireland. It's about 8 reasons why I think you should get a camper van. So let's start straight away with reason number one. Reason number one, because it's an escape pod. Now, what do I mean by an escape pod? Now, you may be, like me, very happily married with 2 wonderful children that no longer live at home. But every now and again, you feel a need to get away from the family, or the family feels a need to get away from you. And they say, Julian, yeah. I say, yeah. They say, you know that camper van? I say, yeah. They say, why don't you go and sit in it for a few hours and leave us in peace? And I say, good idea. So sometimes it's because you need an escape pod away from your family, your grandparents, your wicked uncles, your children, usually, even your pets. Sometimes I feel a need to get away from the pets. And sometimes it's just because they want you to go away, and therefore you've got an escape pod. Now, you don't have to go anywhere in the camper van, right? This is the beauty of it. It doesn't cost you anything in terms of petrol or tolls or anything like that. All you've got to do is go out of your house, and of course it helps if you have a camper van, but you go out of your house. Well, this is why you need a camper van. So you go out of your house, you get in your camper van, and you escape for a little bit of time. And sometimes, I'll be honest, I've spent weeks in here, and most enjoyable it's been too. Reason number 2 why you need a camper van. Do you have a grandparent? Do you have a great-grandparent? Do you have a great-great-great-grandparent who feels an overwhelming desire to share your living space? And you know it's the right thing to do, but you just can't stand them. You know, they're banging on about who they're going to vote for in the election. And, you know, did you see Pointless yesterday? And you just can't be doing with it. But if you've got a camper van, you've got a granny flat. Yes, it's a self-contained house for an elderly person. Now, it's not far for them to move around, which is usually beneficial. There isn't a lot of space, so they can't make a lot of mess, so you don't have to tidy up after them all the time. And they can be in here, they can be safe because you can lock the doors, and it can be a nice place to be. So, do you have a granny? Get a camper van, put the granny in it. Job done. Reason number 3. I have a very happy marriage, and I hope you do too. But who knows what may happen in the future? And you may think a trial separation from your spouse is a good idea. Get yourself a camper van, and you've got a ready-made trial separation space already arranged. Now, it can be you, it can be your spouse. They may be in the house, you may be in the house. They may be in the camper van, you may be in the camper van, but either way, you're apart. And isn't that a wonderful thing sometimes in any marriage? Not my marriage, of course, but it may well be in your marriage. You just don't want to talk to your partner anymore. You don't want to see them. You don't want to hear them. You just need a little bit of a trial separation for maybe, 16, 17 years, something like that. Get a camper van. All your problems are solved. One of the big advantages of a camper van is that you can drive to the seaside with your partner, and you can sit there and you can look at the sea. There's no need to get out. There's no need to get the wind in your hair. There's no need to see the beauty of the seaside and the beaches and the people sunbathing themselves. No, you can just sit in your vehicle, in your camper van, and if it's got tea and coffee making facilities, you can make yourself tea and coffee, and you can look at the sea, and you can sit there in perfect silence, and then you can drive home again. And you've had a wonderful day out. You haven't had to interact with anybody at all. All you've done is burnt up a bit of petrol, helped to destroy the planet, but you've had a decent view of the seaside. Get a camper van, give it a whirl. Now, if you've got a camper van and you like to go away for weekends, you're going to have some kind of toilet facility. And if you've got that toilet facility, whether it's a chemical toilet, a portaloo, or whether it's a bivy loo, or if it's just a bucket or a pee bottle, or any combination thereof, you have in your possession a portable toilet. And how many times have you said to yourself when you're out on a walk or you're out on a trip or you've been to the shops or the theatre, how I wish I had a portable toilet with me, because then I can take a dump or a wee or whatever it is you do in your toilet. If you've got a camper van, you park your camper van in a convenient place, you make sure it's ready stocked with the appropriate paper and other consumables that you might use. You get in there, you shut the door in perfect privacy, you do your business, and then you go back and you finish Sister Act or whatever it is. So a portable toilet is my next reason for having a camper van and why I think you should get one too. Now, my next reason is partly because of the weather that we're having at the moment. Now, I don't know if you can see, but I'm starting to sweat, and I'm starting to sweat like a bastard. And the reason for that is the temperature outside is about 30 degrees. The temperature in the van, because I've got the windows closed and the doors closed because I don't want to spoil it all with a lot of noise, except that bit of paper falling on the floor. And what have I got? I've got a sauna. Yes. Now, I shall shortly be... Sorry, probably banged the microphone there, but I shall shortly be disrobing. I shall close the curtains, I shall make sure all the windows are shut, and I shall sit here in perfect nakedness, unseen by the neighbours because I've got limousine glass. I don't have to see them, they can see me. Rather, it's the other way around. They can't see me, but I can't see them either, actually. I've just opaqued all of the glass, all around. I can't see a bloody thing, and that's how I like it in my camper van. And I've created a perfect sauna. Now, of course, if you live in cold weather, if you live, I don't know, in Scotland or Iceland or somewhere like that, where the temperatures are generally much colder, then it may not work as a sauna for you. But if you live in Britain, where, of course, as a consequence of global warming, 40 degrees are going to be common throughout the year, get yourself a camper van, you've got yourself a sauna. The next reason is a fairly basic reason. That is, get yourself a camper van, load it up with petrol, and drive the few hundred yards to your local supermarket and stock up. A camper van has plenty of room inside for, I don't know, cat litter, 24 cans of Carlsberg Special, or whatever it is that floats your boat. Maybe your cat doesn't drink Carlsberg Special, in which case you can buy them some Sheba or Whiskers or other cat foods which are available. And you can go to your supermarket of choice. I don't mind, it's got nothing to do with me. Get yourself a camper van, you can go to the shops in it, and you can fill it up with crap. And is that not a way to live your life? I certainly think it is. And my final reason, as you know, things in Britain at the moment, they're not going so well, right? We have a government, well, we don't really have a government, and they're not doing much about stuff. And this is likely to lead to a certain amount of disquiet amongst the general population. It may even lead to a certain amount of civil unrest. And it can be useful in those circumstances to have a vehicle which you can load up, like an American survivalist, for example. I've got enough food in my camper van to last for about 9 weeks. I've got enough water to last for about 12 weeks. I've got enough toilet paper to last for about 3 weeks. But what I'm ready to do is, if things get a little bit hot around here, and I'm not talking about temperatures, I'm not talking about global warming, I'm not talking about using the camper van as a sauna. I'm just saying, if things are getting a little bit hot, then I decamp into the camper van with my family and all my worldly goods that I take out of my house, and I shove into the camper van and I take off for the wild blue yonder. Now, where is the wild blue yonder in Britain? I'm not sure, but I'm going to be looking for the wild frontier. I'm going to be looking for that Yellowstone National Park. Yes, I'm going to be looking for the cowboys, and where the air is cleaner and the world is freer and life is so much more fun. surrounded by Americans who are armed to their teeth. So that is what I think is the last great reason for having a camper van, and that is to escape civil unrest. So I suggest you put yourselves a deposit down on a camper van, and you can start living these reasons as well, just as much as I am. So thanks for watching. See you next time.